You might remember that I've recently got the BMW E60 535D, and this car has quite a problem with it, and that is the brakes. They're quite warped, and the way I can tell is the steering wheel is juddering like crazy whenever I brake. So today we're going to put some new brakes on. We've got some M-Tech, drilled and grooved. They are a bit on the budget side, but I had them on the E46 and they worked pretty well, so I've gone for those again. These cost me just over 200 for the front pair, and I must say they are absolutely humongous. So first of all, starting off with the pads. These bad boys are very, very chunky, and it is 2-pot brakes. This will be our caliper side, and then, well, that'll be the outer caliper side, should I say, and this will be our inner caliper side. You can distinguish this with the longer pins, so that goes into the 2 pots. You'll see later on, and then we have our wear sensor. And now onto the main topic that I want to talk about, the disc. Now these are humongous. Now the video doesn't really do it any justice, but you can see here that's like 2 fingers thickness all the way around, and it is an absolutely behemoth of a disc. But obviously the car weighs between 1.6 and 1.7 tons, so obviously it's going to need that stopping power, so that's what we're going to provide it with today. Okay, so one of the first things we're going to want to do is take this filter out on this side to get to our brake fluid reservoir, which means we've also got to take that one out that side. You need to take this out and the scuttle. So I'll start off by getting this little bit here. There should be a tab sticking up. Push it towards the passenger side, like so. Comes out. I want to make sure we've got these disconnected as well. These are just normal clips. Push down on the clip and remove. Just be careful with these because they do sometimes come out the slots, so we don't want to lose these. The bar just pops there. Put a bit of pressure down on it. Pop the bar off like that. If you don't want to risk catching your fingers, you can use a flathead screwdriver as well. And then we have this, which just turn 90 degrees. That one there, because it's a little tab. This lifts up and out. Same story on this side. Push down, move the bar over. This thing moves up and out, so it just gets moved 90 degrees. Like so. And that comes out. The rest of these, you've got 1 in the middle, 3 around that area for these plastic tabs. And then you have a Torx there that need to come out. It's exactly the same on both sides. That's loose. Now remember, you don't have to unlock these all the way. They only turn about 90 to 180 degrees. This one seems to turn clockwise instead. Or it was already unlocked. So now we've just got to take the Torx out and then we can list it. And for anybody wondering, it's a T25. Yeah, come on. There we go. And it's now rinse and repeat on the other side. And this comes up, and then that exposes. Okay. Yep, there we go. That comes out. That comes up, and that exposes our brake reservoir. I'm also noticing another thing where we could have an issue. I spoke about this before when I come in here. There is a bit of a puddle in the bottom of there. So we're just going to see if we can clear out some drainage, because something is not happy. Anything, yeah, so we start to get a drip there, so I've cleared that drainage out. Always check this area whenever you're coming in this area, because this is what will flood your car. So I'm going to get a zip tie down that little hole. It's just in that corner at some point, and just clear that out. Obviously today, our number 1 priority is getting this reservoir to the level we want. So just undo that for the time being, because we're going to be needing to push the pistons back. And now we can actually jack the car up and make a start. Right then, so that's a wheel off, and to give you a sort of idea on size, look at the size of my hand, and I've got quite big hands. compared to these calipers. These are some proper chunky boys. We have an Allen bolt here to come off. Luckily, doesn't seem like it's binding at all. Next step, I want to stick a screwdriver or something just here. Well, it'll probably have to go on the bottom because the disc, as you loosen, is going to want to rotate anti-clockwise. So I'll put that in the bottom. You can just do this with a normal Allen key as well, but it sometimes helps if you can get a ratchet. There we go. And now we can take our screwdriver back. Now we want to pry it on this, and then that exposes the backs of our pads. So now, if we go around to the back, there should be two of these sort of things. These plastic covers. You just pull them out. Should be one at the bottom as well. And then that should reveal 2 Allen key bolts. And while we're here as well, this is on the passenger side. I've removed the brake pad wear sensor. You just give this a wiggle and a pull. Then that will come out of here, which is your bleeder nipple. I should just pull off this cap, and this should just pull over. If you do struggle with it, then you know a flathead will probably help you out there. And then you want to unpull it from here. Like so. And inside this little box, this is where your sense cable goes to. And there's 2 little plastic tabs that open that. You pull that out, disconnect that. Just be careful with these because these are old and they are plastic, so they can break very easily. That's where you press down to get it out. So now I've loosened both of these. There's a technique you need to do with these where it's a sort of twist and pull. It says. So as you're twisting, just pull them out so we know they're fully clear of the area. And we're going to want to take these fully out because we're going to want to clean them up anyway. Exactly the same with the bottom one. Now it's just a case of trying to take the caliper off. Now the pads do just pop out. You can always tell if somebody's done a good brake job before because they'll use copper grease on areas, which is what you're supposed to do. But now I get to use my new TikTok shop rewind tool, see if that does anything. I might need to put the pad back in for that because I think the gap's too big. And the thing I like about these is you can take the disc off without having to take the caliper holder off, which is nice. So now we just want to clean all this surface up and all the contact points on the caliper housing. So now all we want to do is just get a bit of copper grease around here on the contact points and the contact points on the caliper here. Then when we put our new pads in, we'll put a bit of copper grease on the tabs of the pads as well. So that's the new disc on. Now just get the pads on, and then it's essentially the reverse of what we did. I'm going to tighten this back up. You know, I didn't do too much force because you've got to bear in mind you're probably going to have to take this off again. And it's just giving yourself more work that you don't need. So just tighten it up to the point that it don't want to go anymore, and then yeah, don't go swinging off it. Okay, so that's everything put back, piston pushed back, new disc on, again copper grease on the tabs of the new pads. And also with this, these are a bit awkward, the brake wear indicators. Now there is a clip in the top there that you push down. They are a bit old, so just give them some time, but they also do get stuck in there, so you've got to know the right level to push these two because they will snap. Yeah, this one's I feel like it was about ready for a change. Quite happy with that, and now it's just rinse and repeat on the other side. Okay, and that is the other side done. Something you want to do after you've done this is just pump the brake pedal without the engine on, just until you get a solid pedal. This resets the pistons, and while you're doing that, just make sure you keep that unplugged. Just for reference, if you do need to turn the car around and drive it after you've done the first side, it is possible to start the car and maneuver it around with all of the gubbins off. So you're going to be fine if you do that. But yeah, so now this is overflowing a bit too much, which in my case it isn't. If it's overflowing a bit too much for your liking, you can get something like turkey pastry or something like that. Make sure it's clean and just take a bit of fluid out. As long as it's around the max mark, it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, it's just a case of putting everything back together now and tidying up.